Rafael Nadal just made a gift, so unexpected, it brought Eala to her knees in tears. A second home, words that would change everything for the young Filipino star. Nobody saw this coming. Not the fans. Not the media. And certainly not Alex herself. What started as a quiet gesture from one of tennis's greatest legends turned into a moment so powerful it shook the entire tennis world. But this wasn't just about generosity. This was about legacy, mentorship, and a bond that goes deeper than any trophy. When Eala first arrived at the Rafael Nadal Academy in Mallorca back in 2018, she was just 14 years old. A girl from the Philippines with big dreams and even bigger determination. She didn't know anyone. She didn't speak fluent Spanish, and she certainly didn't expect to become part of Rafael Nadal's extended family. But tennis has a way of bringing unlikely souls together. Eala had always admired Nadal from afar. Who hasn't? The warrior spirit, the never-give-up mentality, the way he fought for every single point, like his life depended on it. For a young player trying to break through in a sport dominated by European and American talent, Nadal represented something powerful, proof that hunger and heart could overcome anything. What she didn't realize was that Nadal had been watching her too. From the very beginning, the coaches at his academy noticed something different about Alex. It wasn't just her forehand or her footwork, it was her spirit. The way she trained when nobody was watching. The way she pushed through injuries and setbacks without complaint. The way she carried the weight of an entire nation's hopes on her shoulders. The Philippines, a country with almost no tennis infrastructure, counting on her to break through. Nadal saw himself in that struggle. He understood what it meant to represent something bigger than yourself, to carry a flag that felt heavier than any racket. Spain wasn't always a tennis powerhouse either. Before Nadal, before the golden generation, Spanish tennis was an afterthought. He had built something from nothing, and now, watching this young Filipino fight her way up, he saw a reflection of his own journey. Over the years, their connection deepened. Nadal would occasionally stop by her practice sessions, offering quiet words of encouragement. Sometimes just a nod, a smile, a reminder that someone believed in her. For Alex, those moments were everything. This wasn't just any coach or mentor. This was Rafa, the man who had won 22 Grand Slams, the man who had inspired an entire generation. But their bond went beyond tennis. Nadal recognized the loneliness that comes with chasing greatness far from home. Alex had left her family in the Philippines to train in Spain. She celebrated birthdays without her parents. She faced defeats without her childhood friends to comfort. The academy became her home, yes, but it was also a constant reminder of everything she had sacrificed. And Nadal, he understood sacrifice better than anyone. So he made it his mission to ensure that Alex never felt completely alone. He invited her to family dinners during holiday. He checked in after tough losses. He celebrated her victories like they were his own. Slowly, quietly, he became more than a mentor. He became family. What Alex didn't know was that Nadal had been planning something extraordinary, something that would change her life forever. But nobody, not even those closest to Rafa, could have predicted what came next. To understand the magnitude of what happened, you have to understand what the Rafa Nadal Academy truly represents. This isn't just a training facility. It's not just another tennis club with nice courts and expensive equipment. The academy, opened in 2016 in Manacor, Mallorca, was built on a philosophy that champions are made through values, not just victories. Discipline, humility, respect, hard work. These weren't just words plastered on motivational posters. They were the foundation of everything. Nadal poured his heart and soul into creating an environment where young players could develop not just as athletes, but as people. He wanted to build a place that felt like home, even for kids thousands of miles away from their actual homes. And Eala, she became one of the Academy's greatest success stories. In 2022, she made history by becoming the first Filipina to win a Grand Slam singles title at the U.S. Open Junior Championships. The victory sent shockwaves through the Philippines. Streets erupted in celebration. Social media exploded. The president congratulated her personally. For a country starved of tennis success, Alex was a beacon of hope. But behind the trophy and the headlines was a grueling journey that most people never saw. Alex had spent nearly 5 years at the academy by that point. 5 years of waking up before dawn. 5 years of brutal training sessions in the Mediterranean heat. 5 years of watching other girls go home to their families, while she stayed behind alone in a foreign country, chasing a dream that sometimes felt impossibly far away. The academy had given her everything she needed to succeed. World-class coaching, state-of-the-art facilities, sparring partners who pushed her to her limits. But more than the physical security, Nadal gave her something even more valuable: validation. For years, Alex has carried the pressure of being the Philippine hope, the pioneer, the one who has to succeed because if she doesn't, that burden is crushing. It makes every loss feel like a national failure. It turns every tournament into a referendum on her worthiness. Nadal's gift says, "You are enough. You have already succeeded. You have already proven yourself." This isn't charity, this is recognition. And that message resonates far beyond Alex herself. Young athletes around the world, especially those from underrepresented countries, watched the story unfold and saw something revolutionary. Proof that the tennis world can make space for them. That success doesn't have to follow the traditional Western European or American pathway. That someone will see their struggle and choose to help. This is Nadal's vision for his academy made manifest. He didn't just want to create champions. He wanted to create a more inclusive, supportive tennis ecosystem. A place where talent from anywhere could flourish. Where a girl from the Philippines could stand alongside players from Spain, France, America, and everywhere else as equals. The gift to Alex is a statement. This is what I believe in. This is the future I want to build. But it's also a challenge to the rest of the tennis world. How many other superstars are willing to make this kind of commitment? How many are willing to invest not just their time or their name, but actual substantial resources into the next generation? Nadal set a new standard, and whether people agree with his decision or not, they can't ignore it. The conversation has shifted. Athletes are now asking themselves, what's my responsibility to those coming up behind me? What's my legacy beyond my ranking and my prize money? How do you express gratitude for something so overwhelming? How do you articulate what it means to have someone believe in you this completely? She tried several times to draft a longer statement, but each attempt felt inadequate. Finally, she decided to keep it simple and honest. "I've been crying on and off for 3 days," she posted on Instagram. "Not because I'm sad, but because I'm so grateful I don't know what to do with all these feelings. Rafa didn't just give me an apartment or a membership. He gave me peace. He gave me a foundation. He gave me the freedom to chase my dreams without fear. I promise, I will honor this gift by working harder than ever, and by helping other young players the way I've been helped." This is just the beginning. The response was overwhelming. Thousands of comments flooded in, most from young athletes, sharing their own struggles and thanking Alex for representing them. One message in particular stuck with her. It was from a 12-year-old girl in Manila. "I want to be like you someday. You make me believe I can make it too, even though we don't have nice courts here. Thank you for not giving up." Alex read that message over and over. It reminded her why this all mattered. This wasn't just about her anymore. It never really was. Within weeks of receiving Nadal's gift, Alex announced her new role as youth ambassador for the academy. She would be hosting training camps for underprivileged players from Southeast Asia. She would be mentoring young Filipino athletes who couldn't afford to train in Europe. She would be using her platform to advocate for better tennis infrastructure in developing countries. "Rafa showed me what it means to give back," she explained in an interview. "Not just with words, but with action. I want to do the same. I want to be for someone else what he's been for me." Her tournament results also saw a shift. Free from the constant anxiety about where she would train during the off-season, free from the financial stress that had plagued her early career, Alex played with a new confidence. She competed with the joy of someone who knew she had a home to return to, no matter what happened on the court. But perhaps the most touching moment came months later, during a tournament in the Philippines. Alex brought Nadal as her special guest, and together they hosted a youth clinic for hundreds of Filipino kids who had never touched a tennis racket before. Watching Nadal teach those children who reminded him of Alex when she first arrived at his academy, was a full-circle moment. This was his legacy. Not the Grand Slam titles, but this. The spreading of opportunity, the breaking down of barriers, the belief that talent can come from anywhere. At the end of the clinic, a young boy approached Nadal shyly and asked in broken English, "Will you help me like you helped Alex?" Nadal knelt down to the boy's level, smiled and said, "If you work hard and never give up, I promise you, someone will help you. Maybe me, maybe someone else, but the world needs more champions, like Alex, and maybe you'll be one of Alex." Watched this exchange with tears in her eyes. She understood now Nadal hadn't just given her a home. He'd given her a mission, a purpose beyond tennis, a responsibility to pay forward what had been given to her. It's about what happens when someone with power chooses to use it to lift others up. It's about legacy. It's about family. It's about the kind of impact that echoes far beyond trophies and rankings. Rafael Nadal could have stopped at being a great player. He could have retired, counted his millions and enjoyed his legend. But he chose something harder, to build something that would outlast him. And Eala, she's proof that his vision works, that investing in young athletes, truly investing, not just offering kind words, can change the trajectory of their lives. The question now is, who else will follow Nadal's lead? Who else will step up?